Hi everyone, welcome back to the DIY Residence for this month's Look for Less challenge hosted by the Latina next door, as well as her co-host for this month from the DIY Beauty on Purpose. I'll be recreating a beautiful floral arrangement that I saw on the Kirkland's website, and it was $84.99 US plus tax, and I recreated a similar one for less than $10, and I can't wait to share that with you, so please keep watching. So to begin this project for the base, I got this little planter tray that I got at the thrift store, and I flipped it previously in my channel, but I know this can also be found at the Dollarama here in Canada, and it comes also with three galvanized planters when you buy it, and it's usually $3 at the dollar store, but here I'll be using this base for this project. I also got these stickers at the dollar store. They were $1.50 for the whole package, and I'll be using that for this project. And as you can see, it's very easy because it comes already in strings and not individual beads, and I just placed a layer of that all around just to match the initial piece that I was following. And then for the handles, I know that the initial project that I was looking for, or the initial planter, had some cork handles, so I'm gonna use these instead. I got this at the Dollar Tree, and these are just like grips that you can place around pencils or pens. So I'm just going to take a pair of scissors and place those around the handles, and once it's painted in gray, all of it would look neat and will match the initial planter that I was looking to recreate. So here I'm just placing them, and I'll be using some hot glue just to secure these in place. I then took some of these paint that I got at the Dollar Tree. It looks black in here, but it's actually a dark gray, and it's not as strong as acrylic. It was a bit see-through. I think they're used mainly for glass or for a different purpose, but they're definitely not acrylic paint. So here I'm gonna use this and do 2-3 coats of that, and then later on you're gonna see me mix in some white acrylic paint as well as some silver, just to give some more depth and some more dimension to my project. I'm gonna make sure while painting that I get all of the colors, so some of the white as well as the silver to show through, and then I'm gonna let everything dry, and eventually I'll be putting another coat of paint and just mainly dry brushing till I'm happy with the look that I'm looking for. And here I'm just making sure to paint in between all of the beads so that everything looks uniform and neat at the end. And this is how it looks once the first coat of paint is done, and I'm just gonna let all of that dry. If you are joining the DIY Residence for the first time, then welcome. I upload new videos every week, and I share the many DIY projects that I do in hopes to inspire others to do crafts. So if this is something that interests you, please hit the subscribe button as well as the bell icon so you don't miss on any of my future projects. For the vase that they used in this planter set, I found these at the Dollar Tree. I'm just going to take off the metal rim that's attached to it. It's very easy. I just cut through with a pair of scissors, and I was able to just loosen that and to remove the metal wiring that was around it. And I think this was a perfect match for my project. And for the florals, I found these stem at the thrift store, and they were $2.99 for this whole bunch. And it also came with some other purple and blue flowers that I'm going to use for a different project. And here I'm just going to use a pair of scissors and use these flowers. I know they don't look the same as the one in the planter that I was looking for, but I know they do sell daffodil, it's called, I think, daffodil flowers at the Dollar Tree, but it wasn't the match that I was looking for to use in my decor at home, and I like these flowers better, so this is the one that I'm going to use. And this greenery as well, I think, matches perfectly with the planter that I was looking to recreate, so I'm going to use some of these for my project. After I have all of the piece cut to the shapes and to what I wanted, I'm just going to gather them all in a bunch by placing the flower stem in the center and the greenery around, and then I'm going to bunch them together. If we refer to the flower arrangement that I was looking at, Kirkland's, you can see that it has like a brown and white wrapping around it. So here I'm just going to take some printer paper, just fold it or just gather it together, and then I like that messy look just to match the piece that I was looking to create. So here I'm just gathering all in a bunch, and then I'll be using a piece of yarn that I also had at home, and then I'll be tying this around just to secure everything in place. I then took some brown acrylic paint that I also got from the dollar store, and using a paintbrush, I'm just gonna paint the bottom of this flower arrangement or the paper that I attached, and I'm gonna ensure to leave some areas that are white, just as the flower arrangement that I was trying to recreate from Kirkland's. So here I'm just gonna do that for all three of them, and I'm gonna let everything dry before I use some hot glue to attach these to the bottom of the glass vases that I got. Here I'm just using hot glue to attach these flowers to the bottom of the vase, but I was thinking if I did add something to weigh them down, like stones or pebbles that you can also find at Dollar Tree, I think that would work out perfectly instead of using hot glue. But for this project, because I didn't do that way, I'm going to use some hot glue, and just to make sure that everything stays centered, I'm going to put some of these finer sand to the bottom, and I'm not going to put them all the way up, but just enough so that the flower arrangement stays centered in my glass vase. In the flower arrangement that I was trying to recreate, you can see some stems or some roots that are showing also inside the pot. So to try to recreate that, I'm still going to use some of this yarn, and I'm going to use the same brown acrylic paint and paint the yarn in this color, and then I'm going to cut everything into smaller pieces, and I'm going to place it inside the vase. As the paint dries, the yarn will get more stiff, and I think it would mimic the texture of the roots that are showing inside the original piece. Now I'm just going to apply the second coat of paint, really just by dry brushing and putting some highlights and some whiter shades into the base. I wanted to mimic the original planter that I was trying to recreate. So here I'm just going to put some lighter shades and dry brush till I'm happy with how everything looks. And now comes the fun part where I get to assemble everything. So all I did was just to place the vase in the center and arrange the flowers to the way I like them. Now the only thing that I would do different in this project is if I were able to find another base for this project that is a bit thicker and more deeper, but I'm happy with how everything turned out, and this is the end result. I think it looks very similar to the one in Kirkland's, and I didn't have to pay $85 for this, and I was able to make it for less than $10. I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you did, please leave my video a thumbs up, and I'll see you around in my next video. Take care everyone, stay safe.